Hurts goes deep. Smith over the shoulder makes the play.
Football is a young man's game. There's no doubt about it. And this is becoming more and more apparent in the modern game, which has seen a massive uptick in young talented players who are making a massive impact all across the league. Now let's take a look around the NFL and rank the top 25 players under 25. But before we get started, a bit of housekeeping. The cutoff date for this is they have to be under 25 before the 2023 regular season starts. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get right into it.
To the team, how can you influence the guys in the locker room, from a mental standpoint for me?
Number 25, A.J. Terrell. A.J. Terrell had a bit of a sophomore slump in 2022 after a tremendous rookie season, but considering how pitiful the Falcons' front seven was, that drop-off was all but inevitable. It's tough to say what Atlanta's defense as a whole will look like in 2023, but A.J.'s skills are undeniable, and we expect a bounce-back year from him. Number 24, Penne Sewell. Penne Sewell may not look like he's just under 22 years old, but that's only because his gargantuan frame and freakish athleticism hide his youth. At 6'5" and over 330 pounds with truly elite athleticism, Sewell has all the makings of being one of the top offensive tackles in the league for years to come. Detroit has to be thanking its lucky stars who was able to land the Oregon product with the 7th overall pick in the 21 draft. Number 23, Drake London. Though London's production during his rookie years wasn't overly eye-popping, his 72 receptions, 4 touchdowns, and 866 yards are still impressive, especially when you consider the run-heavy offense that the Falcons were running last year, as well as the instability at the quarterback position. Number 22, Rashawn Slater. Thus far in Slater's young career, injuries have really been the only thing capable of slowing him down. The Chargers' offensive tackle has been a stalwart and a pivotal figure in protecting their franchise quarterback, Justin Herbert. Number 21, Chris Olave. After being taken 11th overall in the 2022 NFL Draft, you might think that expectations would be high for Chris Olave. But considering the massive transitional period he was walking into in New Orleans, I think a lot of the hype was tempered. After all, it was Andy Dalton throwing him the bulk of the balls. The young Ohio State alum, to his credit, found a way to deliver in spite of the adversity. He went for 4 touchdowns and over 1,000 receiving yards in just 15 games. Number 20, Justin Fields. Everyone and their mother is expecting a big year out of Justin Fields in 2023. And after the electric second half of his sophomore season, who could blame the public for getting excited? Fields has steadily progressed as a passer, and his athleticism is truly next level. Number 19, Trevon Diggs. Simply put, no one is lukewarm on Trevon Diggs. People either think he is a top-notch playmaking corner, or a risk-crazed bum who's only interested in trying to snag interceptions. Granted, there is a reason to be concerned about the high yardage totals he has allowed in coverage, but you don't get 11 interceptions in 1 year by mistake. And we have to give him his props. He is one of the top young defensive players in the game, period. Number 18, Tariq Woolen. Sauce Gardner may have stolen most of the rookie corner attention in 2022, but out in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle Seahawks rookie Tariq Woolen was balling out as well. The 24-year-old snagged 6 picks and was excellent in coverage all year long for a surprisingly fun and relevant Seattle team. Number 17, Monroe St. Brown. Just 2 years into his young career, St. Brown has quickly emerged as one of the top wide receivers in the game, and a critical figure in the rebuild going on in Detroit. Through 2 years, he's averaged over 1,000 receiving yards and nearly 100 receptions per, and is proven to be one of the most explosive receivers in space. Number 16, T. Higgins. T. Higgins has been nothing but consistent since entering the NFL out of Clemson in the 2020 draft. The Bengals did well to snag him at the top of the second round because his production has easily been first-round material. He's averaged over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns across his first 3 seasons, and he just always seems to be open when Joe Burrow most needs him to. He may not get as much credit as his fellow stud receiver Jamar Chase, but the two make one heck of a duo together. Number 15, Devonte Smith. Though he gets slightly overshadowed by his running mate A.J. Brown, Eagles' speedy young wide receiver Devonte Smith has also cemented himself as one of the best receivers out there in the NFL. He came just short of 1,000 yards in year 1 when Jalen Hurts was still going through a lot of growing pains. Then he just exploded for under 1,207 touchdowns with a more stable offense in 2022. Smith also may have the best ball skills in the league today. The man is silky smooth at hauling in the football. Number 14, Christian Darrisaw. Christian Darrisaw had a disappointing rookie season, which was largely marred by injuries that ended up costing him 4 games. But he did bounce back in a big way, playing 15 to 17 games in 2022 and earning an elite PFF grade of 90.4. The Vikings' offensive tackle's sophomore season was impressive to say the very least, and his skill set should position him well to have continued success in this league. Number 13, Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson was one of the most explosive wide receivers in the league last year, and he led all rookies with 26 plays of 20 or more yards, en route to recording over 1,100 yards, which, when adjusted to the curve of catching passes from Zach Wilson, yeah, that reaches astronomically high levels. Alright, all jokes aside, year 2 could be something special for the Ohio State product, as future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers is now a Jet, and the two could do some serious damage together, now that there's a passer capable of really capitalizing on Wilson's elite quickness and ball skills. Jonathan Taylor. Last year was not exactly the best for Jonathan Taylor, but much of his downturn in production can be chalked up to the organizational chaos that is Indy. Look, their O-line was terrible. They really didn't have a quarterback, and Taylor himself was battling injuries. And yet he still managed to notch 861 rushing yards in just 11 games. Between his dynamic ability to run with the ball and the versatility he brings catching the ball and blocking in the pass game, the former Wisconsin Badger was an easy pick for the top 25 under 25. Number 11, Trevor Lawrence. After an extremely troublesome rookie season that we have since learned was a result of, 10% the standard rookie learning curve and 90% the gross incompetence of his head coach Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence now seems to be back on track. Of course, he still has a lot of work to do to become the generational talent that he was believed to be coming out of Clemson, but the way that the Jags rallied to make the playoffs last year was very impressive. Not to mention the insane comeback that they had in the wildcard round against the Los Angeles Chargers. Trevor deserves a lot of credit for the role that he played in turning things around in Duval. This could be a big year for Lawrence and the rest of that crew down in Jacksonville. Number 10, Creed Humphrey. It's easy to get lost in the shuffle on a team like the Chiefs, which has so many talented players on its roster. But Creed Humphrey is nearly as important as anyone. Well, anyone not named Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, or Chris Jones. The man has allowed just one sack 2 years into his career across over 1,400 passing snaps. Which, I would say is pretty preposterous. Chiefs fans have to be hoping that they're able to keep the young. Number 9, Andrew Thomas. Although he didn't get a ton of credit in the media, Andrew Thomas's emergence in year 2 was a huge reason for the leap that his quarterback Daniel Jones made during his first season under Brian Daboll. Thomas took his pass blocking to a whole new level in year 2, allowing just 7 sacks or hits on the quarterback out of 700 passing snaps. Number 8, CeeDee Lamb. It's hard to believe that the Cowboys' Pro Bowl receiver is still not 25. It feels like he's been torturing opposing defenses for a decade already. Lamb is coming off his best season to date, in which he went for 1,359 yards, 107 receptions, and 9 touchdowns, really cementing himself as one of the top wideouts in the game, regardless of age. Number 7, Patrick Surtain II. The 23-year-old cornerback had big shoes to fill when Denver took him 9th overall in the 2021 draft out of Alabama. Not just because the Broncos have a long history of great D-backs like Champ Bailey, but also because his father was an all-pro corner in his own right. Junior, to his credit, has already matched his father, earning all-pro honors in year 2 thanks to his rock-solid coverage skills. Number 6, Jalen Waddle. The former Alabama wide receiver has proven a worthy Robin to Tyreek Hill's Batman in Miami. And what makes him all the more exciting to Dolphins fans is the second-year wide receiver has only improved with each passing week, it seems. In 2022, he averaged an insane 18.1 yards per reception on 75 catches, giving him 1,356 yards and 8 tutters to boot. Clearly, Waddle has been putting that breakaway speed to good use. Plus, Waddle gets bonus points for having one of the best signature touchdown celebrations in the game. Number 5, Tristan Wirfs. While a lot of the glitz and glamour has faded in Tampa Bay with Tom Brady's departure, there are still a number of very talented players on that roster. And 24-year-old offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs is one of those guys. He has been one of the most consistent pass blockers since Tampa snagged him 13th overall in the 2020 draft out of Iowa. There has been talks that the Bucs are going to move him from right to left tackle this year, but considering his 6'5", 320+ pound frame and his athleticism, I think he should fare fine in the transition. Number 4, Jamar Chase. The 2021 Offensive Rookie of the Year has more than proven his worth as a 5th overall draft selection in the 2021 draft. He's gone for over 1,000 receiving yards both seasons, despite missing 5 games in 2022 due to injury. Chase has also proven to be a reliable red zone target, averaging 11 touchdowns across his 2 pro seasons. I guess the Bengals knew what they were doing when they invested that high of a draft pick in Chase to pair him with his college teammate Joe Burrow. Number 3, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson might be the single most important non-quarterback in the entire NFL. He is that big of a difference maker at the wide receiver position. After a dynamic rookie season that saw him haul in 88 passes for 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns, we've seen his numbers continue to climb each year, despite the opposing defenses paying more and more attention to him with each passing snap. Now he's coming off a 1,809-yard, 128 reception, 8 touchdown 2022 season, and there really is no reason to ever doubt what JJ can do on the football field. Number 2, Sauce Gardner. Just 1 year into his career, and Sauce Gardner is already widely believed to be the best cornerback in the league. I mean, between his elite frame, speed, and ball skills, it's hard to argue. He defended 20 passes and snagged 2 picks during his rookie season, despite only being targeted 86 times the entire year. I mean, the guy surrendered just 1 touchdown. It's hard to argue that he isn't special. And he isn't plagued with the same aversion to tackling that we've seen from other elite corners in the past. All in all, just a very, very special player. Number 1, Micah Parsons. There is a significant premium placed on edge rushers in the modern NFL, and just 2 years into his career, there is no denying that Micah Parsons is already among the top in the entire NFL. I mean, he's already gotten All-Pro honors twice, which would normally just be a very solid career accomplishment. Not something you expect from a guy during his first 2 seasons in the league. His overall numbers have been very impressive, as he's gone for at least 13 sacks both years. But what really differentiates Parsons is the absolute havoc that he can wreak on any given game day. There are certain nights where he has the look in his eye and you just know he's gonna get multiple sacks and be in the backfield on damn near every single play. Honestly, the sky is the limit for this 24-year-old. But which NFL running back do you think is most worth a big contract? Is there anyone that we missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.